What is going on? Welcome back. Welcome back to the last playoff best ball episode I'm going to do for this year. Obviously, playoffs start in 3 days, so pretty excited about that. Hopefully, everyone else is as well. Looks like Twitter's pretty excited about it. I am as well. The first game is the Chiefs Dolphins, I believe, right? And that game is supposed to be one of the coldest games on record, which should be an interesting one. So if you've been drafting a lot of Dolphins and Chiefs in your playoff best ball, drafts, matchups, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be tough sledding when it's, I don't know, what is it supposed to be, like -20? I think that's Celsius. Do the math. Where I live right now, it's about -40, which is Celsius. But fun fact for everyone out there: the crossover is -40, -40 Celsius, -40 Fahrenheit. It's the same thing. That's where they cross over, and it's just cold as shit. And that's where it's going to be, sounds like, in Kansas City. So it's going to be pretty interesting, that game. We'll see how it goes. But I'm excited for the playoffs to get going. We're going to do nothing but draft tonight. So let's jump right into it. I'm not going to do any sort of content or chit chat, whatever. We're just going to jump right in, do some drafting, and finish up our roster or our exposure and everything like that. So little gauntlet's almost full. 97.4. I've got one more entry in that I'll do to max enter that guy. I like that format. 2 of 6, 1 of 5, 1 of 6, 50-seat final. I like that. The little mitten I've been drafting a fair amount of. 3 of 6, which is a little bit of a wrinkle in there. I like that. 1 of 10, 1 of 10, 279-seat final. So definitely a little bit different. I haven't drafted any of the gauntlet 2 of 6, 1 of 6, 1 of 5. That's a great format. I haven't done any, and I'm not going to. Same with the little mitten 5, 2 of 6, 2 of 10, 1 of 10. Like the format, just haven't. I'm not going to draft everything. I'm not going to max enter everything. So I've got one more little gauntlet. Maybe we do that tonight. But definitely going to do some mitten 4s. So let's jump into one. Get moving here. Like I said, we're just going to do a bunch of drafts tonight, hammer a bunch out, and kind of see how it goes. So hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you're kicking around, if you want to draft with me, jump in. While it's taking this time to fill. Waiting for 4. Usually these fill super, super quick, but not sure what's going on. There we go. So like always, I want to be a top 4 pick. That's pretty much where I like to live in these. Different strategies for different selections, but that's kind of the easiest route for me. And I'm 5th, so we'll see how that goes. Mind you, I've seen Lamar Jackson, and I've gotten Lamar Jackson at 5, which is, I think, crazy, especially in this format where you advance 3 of 6 in the first round. If you can get, a Baltimore and a small San Francisco stack, which I've done a few times, if you can get that advancing out of the first round, you got a pretty good shot, especially if both those teams make the playoffs, like happened last year, where both make the Super Bowl, where both number 1 seeds made the Super Bowl. They both have just over 50% chance to make it. So it's not a bad idea to get some of that in your exposure, or in your I don't know, roster of drafts, whatever you want to call it. You got to get some exposure to that just in case that happens. Because again, more than 50% chance that both of them make the Super Bowl. So if you can get that, like it happened last year, and have a full 5-player, Super Bowl roster, you got a good shot. You got a good shot if you can get there with a full roster. So we'll see. Christian McCaffrey. I don't mind Christian McCaffrey in the 101 here. Changes a little bit with 2 of 6, obviously 1 of 6 out of the first round. I'm not drafting Christian McCaffrey at the 101. But in this format, 3 of 6 moving on, it's a great pick for the 1-1, I think. Josh Allen, most likely. So what I've seen a few people do is go Brock Purdy at the 5. Not sure I can get behind that one. So I'm just going to go ahead and go Debo and just hope for the best. Sometimes you'll get a guy will go, no, Purdy, Ayuk, yep. Sometimes you'll get someone that goes Amon-Ra, Tyreek, something like that. So I'm going to get a little bit different. This is an example that I showed when James was on the other night. So I'm going to build up my San Francisco side. I just got to get out of the first round is all that's on my mind right now is getting out of the first round and having some Super Bowl matchups. So I'm going to try to give myself some options, but we'll see how this kind of this draft goes and how it kind of shakes down. That makes sense. Amon-Ra, he's trying to push. Zay, sometimes you can do it. But a lot of times, again, especially in these 3 of 6 advancing, the Christian McCaffrey team or the CeeDee Lamb team can take Zay Flowers pretty easily, and that's a good strategy as well. So it's pretty risky to try to push Zay Flowers in this. Super risky. I think you kind of got to just stay in your lane this close to the playoffs, this late, in the draft cycle, in the draft season, whatever you want to call it. I think you just got to stay in your lane, get your stacks, and try to get unique later, build it out, and do it that way. This is pretty common. Christian McCaffrey with the Kansas City Chiefs. Zay Flowers got there. Good for him. This has got to be James Cook, sorry. So now what I want to do here, could get a little bit, again, more unique, which I think I might do. I can go, let's go Tony Pollard. And then I'm going to bring in Amari Cooper. So you'll see what I'm doing here at the end of it. Hopefully, if it goes that route, that's my hope. Obviously, I'm going to build out Cleveland here, and if I can build out a Cleveland stack and then give myself 2 outs with Dallas and San Francisco, that's kind of what I'm doing here. So that's my strategy. If I'm the 5 or the 6 pick, that's one of my strategies is just to give myself multiple NFC, double bringbacks with in this case, it's got to be Cleveland. Like, unless you think Houston can make the Super Bowl, essentially, which personally I don't. I think, Cleveland's a pretty outside chance as well, obviously. But like I always preach on this channel, roster construction is all that matters. This guy, you got to take Kelsey. Wow, that's really nice to get that. Even though it's going to be tough for Kansas City to score some points, that's a nice build for the first overall selection, CMC. That's a nice build. So obviously we want Njoku. Probably end Jerome Ford. Could obviously bring in Cooks here. I would just, like I said, stay in your lane. I'm getting a little nervous these days trying to push guys, especially with a lot of the NFC at the top of the draft right here. So I might just go ahead and take Njoku and Jerome Ford, although they shouldn't. Like, someone shouldn't take Jerome Ford, but yeah. Mind you, I don't mind taking Cooks. Let's try it. I'm going to try. Let's see if we can push it, because Dave Njoku is more important. And if the Brock Purdy team here just starts to get a little funky, takes Jerome Ford on me. So there you go. That's kind of why you just stay in your lane right there. So I'm going to take Brandon Cooks here. I got my double San Francisco, my double Dallas. With Cleveland, I'm probably going to need one more wide receiver to hopefully advance this team. I will likely, if I can get him, I'll be taking Elijah Mitchell here. And then I might have to be done unless I take Hunt, which I could do as well. Bringing Kareem Hunt late. Obviously, I have to get Joe Flacco, so I'll be taking him with my next pick. As long as no one steals him from me for no good reason. Yeah, Lamar Jackson team should be taking Goff. Should be safe. Should be safe to get Joe Flacco. And I definitely will take him here because you never know what this guy wants to do. With Brock Purdy, he brought in Jerome Ford. Obviously, he could absolutely, and I'm sure he would, take Joe Flacco. But I can wait on him until right now and take him there. Got 4 more picks. So these will be 3 of them almost 100% of the time. Let's get back on my team. Not even almost, literally 100% of the time unless I get sniped. So Joe Flacco, and then I'll take Elijah Mitchell if he's still there. Realistically, he shouldn't be. This guy probably should take him, but that's okay. Take Elijah Mitchell. Then I'm going to bring in Kareem Hunt. I've got Tony Pollard, who I'm hoping that's going to push me. He's going to be the one that advances me. And then Cooper and Njoku, and then Brandon Cooks is going to hopefully help out. Kareem Hunt, you never know. And then I'm going to have to bring in another, Dallas Goedert. I don't hate Dallas Goedert here at all. Jamison Williams, maybe. Even Jaden Reed. This is something I don't mind doing with the first round when I'm just trying to advance. When I have these first round buys, I've got 3 players on a buy that are going to get me a big fat goose egg in the first round. So I don't mind taking Jaden Reed against these Dallas players, even though I know I'm going to lose one and I'm hoping that it's Jaden Reed. But as long as he advances me, then I've got Samuel and Kittle coming in to help out with my Cleveland. Hopefully Dallas is still in, I'm sure. So I don't mind doing that, even though it is drafting basically a dead, and ultimately it's going to die. That roster spot's going to be dead. But I don't mind doing it because if I advance, that's really all I need. I need to get out of the first round, and then my San Francisco players are going to come in and take over. Hopefully, that's the goal. That's what kind of, that's how I make sense of it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. It is what it is. But yeah, when I'm, especially when I'm taking them that high, my top 2 picks are a dead roster spot essentially in the wild card round. So I got to advance, and you got to do what you got to do. So Kareem Hunt's the most important piece here. So Kareem Hunt will be my pick. And then I need an advanced piece, which is Jaden Reed. Yep. That's it. It's Jaden Reed. There we go. So I think this team's got a decent shot to advance. Joe Flacco, Kareem Hunt, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, bring it back with San Francisco here or Dallas, and even Green Bay if there was some sort of crazy upset. But realistically, Jaden Reed's just an advancement piece. I don't mind this. I don't mind this at all. So there we go. There's one. Jumping another one. Jumping another mitten. 4. Let's go. So that's somehow that's a way that I get a little bit different if I'm at the back end of the draft, 5 or 6. You got to get a little bit different here and there. Don't recognize any names. Pickles, I think I might recognize him. 3 spot here. So I'm hoping, I love it. I want to be top 4. I always say top 4, that's it. That's all I care about. If I'm a top 4 team, then I could build out from there. Top 4 picks are pretty obvious. Got Christian McCaffrey, Lamb, Jackson, Josh Allen. I don't mind getting any of those guys. I don't really care who I get. I'll build it out from there. Only thing that you got to make a bit of a decision here, in my opinion, is do you want to take Josh Allen or Lamar first? Who do you want first here? You could take, Lamar second overall. I've taken him first overall, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. With Josh Allen, that's just really, really strong in the wild card round and a shot to go all the way to the Super Bowl. I can't count the amount of Josh Allen builds I have, which equates to Buffalo Bills builds. Do I take Jackson or Josh Allen? I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson here. Like I said, with these mitten fours where 3 of 6 advance, it's very valuable to advance a team with first round bye players. Very, very valuable if you can get that advance, if you can get that team to advance, I should say. And I've got a ton of, I got a ton of Josh Allen exposure. I'm not too worried about that. But we'll see what we do here. That's a great way to go here. Purdy, Ayuk, I love that. I haven't been able to get that. I haven't been able to get that stack yet, the Debo and Ayuk. It's either Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, Kittle, Purdy, Samuel, Purdy, Ayuk. But we'll see. So Lamar Jackson, I don't mind going to Monra here. It's risky to push Zay, but you can still build it out. You can still build out a Raven stack without Zay Flowers. So with Amon-Ra going, that's frustrating. Now I kind of have to take. Now I feel like I kind of just have to stay in my lane and take Zay Flowers. Yeah, unless I wanted to take Pollard, but then the CeeDee Lamb team just takes Dak and Zay Flowers. That's what I do. So might as well just stay in your lane. Wow, he takes Tyreek. Okay. I don't love Tyreek, and for me, Tyreek's falling with the weather in Kansas City. Like, it's no joke, man. That what is it supposed to be? I think it's -20. I'll have to check. -20. I'm not sure if that's Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's cold as shit. It is fucking cold in Kansas City, and that's going to be brutal to play football in. So I'm really, really trying to avoid Dolphins and Chiefs since this news has come out about the polar goddamn vortex in Kansas City. That's madness. I can't see very many points being put up. That's for sure. Wow, these Buffalo Bills are getting pushed down. Hey, that's interesting. That's nice for that guy. That sucks for me, but I'm going to have to take Tony Pollard here. Start building out a Baltimore Dallas Super Bowl. Got the best pieces so far. The Josh Allen team is loving life. Mind you, he's only going to get one of Diggs or James Cook. Cook will not make it back to him. And he goes with the running back. That's the right move. To me, that's the right move. Take the running back there. The same thing with the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously before the weather came out. And when I was drafting Chiefs, I would take Mahomes and Pacheco. And then hope either Kelsey or Rice will make it back to me, because you can build out those pass catchers later with Buffalo, Kincaid, Gabe Davis, Khalil Shakir, Dawson Knox. You can build out the pass catchers. To be honest, the running back is more important. Obviously, there's no way Diggs was coming back. That was for sure. But that's the right thing to do, is take the running back, in my opinion, if you're only getting one. But we'll try to keep building this out. If Kyron's still there, I'll be taking Kyron. Puka, might go with Puka. AJ Brown might not even play, so that's really tough to take that without confirmation that he's playing. But definitely Puka's on my radar here. Kyron and Puka are on my radar. Brandon Cooks could be a guy. I don't need to take Gus Edwards. I don't need to take him. I would if he wrapped around to me. But if somebody wants to reach, be my guest. Yeah, I mean, Diggs, that's great for an advancement piece for this roster, for him to slip there. Nice for you. This is going to be similar to what I just did with the San Francisco side. If I can build out Baltimore and get a 2-piece, there it goes. That's okay. I can still get Jake Ferguson. But if I can get both these guys, Kyron and Puka, I don't want Jalen Hurts. I don't know how he got in there. If I can get them both, then that puts me in a good spot to build out literally exactly what I just did with on the other side with San Francisco. So let's there's also Cooper Kupp. Either one I don't mind taking. So if one goes, I'll take the other. Likely is very important here as well. So I might just go that route anyways. I got Zay, but likely is an important piece to the Lamar stack. You could even argue it's more important than Zay Flowers, to be honest. So there's almost no way I would get him coming back with this guy. I mean, it'd be risky for him to take likely, but I just don't trust people in these drafts right now. So stay in your lane, take what you need. I can get another Rams piece if I need. DeMarcus Robinson I can bring in. I don't mind that. Hopefully, if somehow Cooper Kupp lasts to me, at the 34, my 6th pick, I obviously will be taking him. Jake Ferguson's on my radar. And then I got to figure out advancing, right? But I think we can do that. Matt Stafford is the likely candidate here. I really like if Cooper Kupp wraps around to me. That'd be really helpful. And Jake Ferguson, to be honest. Yeah, A.J. Brown, just especially for this guy that's trying to advance, this team could almost already be dead to advance. If A.J. Brown doesn't play, Gus Edwards on a bye, Kittle, Purdy on a bye, all he has is Stephon Diggs so far. That's risky to build that out. Too risky for me. It just, yeah. With taking bye week players, you really can't go with Eagles, either Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown. In my opinion, you just can't go. You can't do that. It's way too risky. And your odds of advancing are just minuscule at that point. Dalton Kincaid, another advancement piece, but him and Diggs, you basically have to get all the touchdowns. Ferguson there. Pretty easy. Cooper Kupp, obviously. Then I got my double Rams. That sucks that Ferguson goes, but that's not the end of the world. I can just have Tony Pollard. I might have to take Justice Hill here. But I also just got to get some advancement pieces. I could just go with Mike Evans. I like that matchup. Might have to go that route. It's an NFC team. If I get 4 Baltimore Ravens, which will be the plan, 1, a running back, Justice Hill, and then Flowers and likely, if for some outside reason Mike Evans and the Buccaneers make the Super Bowl, then there you go. Plus, he's a great advancement piece to push these bye week players through. So that's what I'm going to do there. Hopefully Justice Hill. And I don't need to bring in Odell. I mean, I could, but then I'm completely banking on Cooper Kupp, Mike Evans, and Tony Pollard or Kyron. Basically, I'm banking on those guys getting me through the first round, which is a big ask. That's a big ask. I think 4 is kind of your max. And then you got to bring it back with the NFC side. So that's why I like getting 2. If I could have gotten Cooks or Ferguson, that would have been great. I could still go get, Gallup or Tolbert, but I don't think I will. I'll probably just leave it there. But then I got my Rams bring back. I got Mike Evans there. You got to advance too. So, another way I like to look at it, like if this guy is dead, then there you go. That helps. If this guy, he's going to pick Flacco. Yeah. So we'll see on this one, but he starts with 2 bye week players. So that hopefully gives me a chance. If this game is just super cold, maybe that helps. Whoever this guy takes, he probably wanted Jalen Hurts, I guess. I don't know. This guy, I think, could be dead right off the hop. So I got to take a quarterback now with everyone that's going off the board. Hopefully this guy takes Tua, but they're kind of flying off the board. I got to take Matt Stafford. If this guy doesn't take Stafford here, which I seriously hope he does not, then I can push it. Okay. Now I can push Stafford to right here, the 51. I don't see this guy taking another quarterback, especially an NFC quarterback. Just doesn't make any sense. Not taking 3, at least super shouldn't. Same thing. So I should be okay to take Justice Hill and then get Matt Stafford at 51 here. And then I just need an advancement piece. Oh, wow, this guy does take another quarterback, and it's Tua. Whew, I guess I lucked out. I mean, that makes sense. That's who you should take, but oh, yeah. Geez, I didn't even look that far. But that's fine. That's fine. I knew there's no way he had Rams, that's for sure. All right. Pretty easy. Matt Stafford. I'm not going to take another running back. That's for sure. I have 2 pieces to help me advance. Has to be an advancement piece, wide receiver, tight end. Pretty easy, pretty obvious. I would much prefer it to be an NFC player. So don't mind Jameson Williams here. Jaden Reed even. No, I probably don't take Jaden Reed. Maybe. I'd rather not take Jaden Reed, but I'm not taking Gallup. I'm just not. Don't need Robinson. I'm not taking Jennings. Could be Godwin. I'd really like it to be Jameson Williams. And then I don't mind losing Jameson Williams, but that game kind of goes off. So that's where I don't mind when I'm just trying to advance. He went anyways, but when I'm just trying to advance, I don't mind because I need this game to go off in the wild card with the Rams in Detroit. If I had, Jameson Williams or Amon-Ra St. Brown, I need that game to go off for me to advance anyways. So I might as well pick the pieces and hopefully my Ram side wins because obviously I've got, 3 players on that side. But I kind of have to take Jaden Reed now. That kind of sucks because I'll lose him and I only have Pollard. If I had another Cowboys piece, I would like it more, oddly. Maybe that seems strange. I don't know, but it's the same thing that happened in the draft that I just did before. So obviously we're going for a Ravens, Rams, Super Bowl. Could also be Ravens, Cowboys. Ravens, Rams, obviously, Ravens, Bucks, Ravens, Packers, all those outcomes are fine. And that's 2 in a row where we're just hoping to get through the wild card round. That's all we're kind of hoping for in those 2. When you're taking those first round bye week teams, do another one. All you're hoping is to advance out of the first round, get those bye week players in, and then hopefully you can get to the Super Bowl. So I was 5th, and then I was 3rd. Hopefully I'm 1st overall, 5th again. Really hoping this somehow Josh Allen gets pushed down to 5th. That's kind of what I like the most. If not, I'm just taking Debo and hoping that I can get, Brock Purdy would be great. Ayuk would be great. Might even that's silly. So I have done the Debo Stephon Diggs, but that was back when you could get Josh Allen as well. That won't happen anymore, so there's no sense in thinking about it or talking about it. I also don't hate doing Stephon Diggs and James Cook, but that's only specifically at the 6. In the 6th spot, you can go Diggs and Cook, and then you can bring back potentially, but not likely, Dak Prescott, not very likely, but you can definitely do Jalen Hurts, Swift and Goddard. something like that. You could do Detroit. You could do the Rams. If you get desperate, you can do Packers or Buccaneers. But we'll see. I'm not going to go that route at the 5 anyways. Josh Allen goes here, then I'm just going to swing with Deebo Samuel and hope that the 6 hole just does something a little different and tries to get unique. He could go Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You see that sometimes. So let's just take Deebo and see what this guy does and take it from there. You could just mix. You could just go Patrick Mahomes here as well at the 8. You could just take Patrick Mahomes and kind of call it a day, and then see what comes back for Chiefs. But with that game, I'm just not doing it. Is kind of where I'm at. I'm just not doing it. So, I don't want to do this build again, but it kind of is what it is. I don't think I can even get different, and that's a pain in the ass. Let's just take Kittle. I don't want to do it. This is why I want to be top 4. This is why I always want to be top 4, because you're never going to be happy. You're never going to be happy with your build. You're never going to be super excited unless somehow the Chiefs make it back to me, which is super unlikely. And I'm also not so, I don't know how excited I am about that anymore. So top 4, you want to be top 4. It's just too easy to build that way. Just makes too much sense. I mean, maybe what you could do now, what I might maybe we'll think about this. If you go Stephon Diggs at 5 and then Dak Prescott at 8, that might be the new try to be different strategy. I don't know. I mean, and then you can try to build out Buffalo and Dallas. That's kind of the only way you can do it. It would be a unique Buffalo Dallas. So it's not the worst idea. What are we doing here? Yeah. Chiefs are gone. I'm going to get a little bit, I don't know. I'm going to get a little bit different and take Kyron instead of Pollard. And then I can at least build out that Rams side. I might even, no, I'm not going to take Gibbs. Not even going to take Gibbs. I'd like to go Puka, but I'm going to take Amari. And then I'm going to do what I did in the first one, which is kind of boring. It's the only strategy I see that's viable unless you go somewhere completely off the board. Like, again, I think I might do that just to get different. Stephon Diggs at the 5 and then Dak Prescott at the 8 and then build it out. You might get sniped here and there and you might have to take guys you don't exactly love, but it's different. It's unique. And what else are you going to do? Like, unless you go Purdy at 5, and then just take probably Kittle or see who comes back from the 49ers, which again is most likely Kittle because you just go Deebo Ayuk at the turn. Maybe if Purdy's not there, the 6 hole drafter is more likely to take Tyreek and Amon-Ra. I don't know. And then you're unlikely to get James Cook, but you should be able to get Brandon Cooks and Jake Ferguson on the Dallas side if you take Dak. I don't know. I mean, it's frustrating a little bit. So I'm going to take Puka or Cooper Kupp and then go nothing but Browns. It's kind of what you got to do, I guess. I've gone down this road. I've kind of made my bed. And that's that. I'm begrudgingly doing it. I don't really love it. It just is what it is. This guy's going Miami. That's totally fine. That helps me, if anything. So, yeah, Puka. And then I'll take Njoku because he should go Achan and probably just bring in Tua. Or what else could he do? Yeah, Achan, Tua. Achan, Waddle. Okay, I'll take David Njoku. Let's stay in our lane. Pretty easy peasy. I got my 2-piece Rams, my 2-piece 49ers that's complete on the NFC side. As long as I don't get sniped on Jerome Ford, which we'll see. If he does, then I can take Kareem Hunt, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to go Ford and Flacco. You can tell by the tone of my voice, I'm super duper excited about this team. So, I mean, it's all right. It's all right. It's structurally sound as long as I get Flacco. Then it's structurally sound. Roster construction's all that matters. I always say that over and over. What I have done, and I showed an example when James was on, is I went with Debo Kittle, I believe, or Ayuk Kittle, one of those two. And then I was able to bring in 2 stacks with Kansas City and Browns. That I really liked. So I had Mahomes and Flacco. I think I had Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Jerome Ford and Elijah Mitchell with the 2 San Francisco, Cooper, Njoku, I think Mecole and Kelsey or something like that. But those days are kind of gone. You can't really get that anymore. Likely, that makes sense. Josh Allen, not very likely to take Cleveland Browns. At least he certainly shouldn't. Goddard makes sense here. That's fine. I'll take... There's no way this guy does what he's doing and takes Flacco, so I'm going to take Jerome Ford just in case he wanted to take Jerome Ford as an AFC piece to bring back. So, yep, this is going well. It's just I don't love it. This is what you need. You know, I got a good shot to advance. 2 more picks, I believe. 2 more picks. So one's going to be Elijah Mitchell if I can get him, unless he's already gone. He is already gone. Okay, so don't worry about that. Just advancement pieces. I don't care about getting more Cleveland Browns because if this team makes the Super Bowl, then I'm good. I have the pass catchers. I have the running back. I don't need any more Cleveland Brown pieces. Yeah, I could bring one in. And the beauty of this is I don't need a third quarter or running back. I don't think. I don't need to take a third running back. I could if, maybe Aaron Jones, if the Tampa Bay side was still there, I could maybe go Aaron Jones though, and Jaden Reed could go that route and just say, hey, if the Cowboys get upset, then there you go. But I mean, then they play the 49ers but I mean, Rams 49ers anyways. It's just, I just don't love it. I don't love having to build like this. I just don't love it. I just don't love it at all. If Goddard was still there, if Ferguson's still there, yeah, I'll take Ferguson. And Reed, Ferguson and Jameson Williams, no. Yeah. I like Ferguson here. So I'll take him. And then I'll take Jaden Reed. Oh, he's gone. Chris Godwin it is. Yeah. Hate the team. Really don't like the team, but it's structurally sound. It's a good build. It makes sense. If the Browns make it to the Super Bowl, then either the Bucks, Cowboys, Rams, 49ers can all make the Super Bowl on the NFC side. And I got a full 5-team roster, and we're good. So let's do another one. I really want to get, the 2 or something like that. Let's do the mitten 4. What do we got here for the gauntlet? I need one more entry here. So you know what? Let's do the last little gauntlet that I got. This will be the last one. So if you're watching, if you're in the chat, some free plus EV. Only 2 of 6 advance here, though. So that's something for me to remember. Fantasy football is fun. It's a great name. Don't recognize anyone. I think I might have seen this guy before. Obviously, red badge. Fantasy football is fun. It's very memorable. I love being the 3 seed or the 3 pick. I love that. And for me, with 2 of 6 advancing, I'm going to go with Josh Allen here over Lamar Jackson. I've got a lot of Lamar Jackson in this format, so I'm not too worried about if I can get a Lamar Jackson team through. I've got a bunch. I'm not worried about that right now. Unless Josh Allen goes, then I'll take CD. That's why I want to be top 4 always. Top 3 is great, especially in the 2 of 6. Top 3 is better with where Josh Allen's going now. But I don't mind being top 4 regardless. Always want to be top 4. Again, if you're watching, hit that like button for me. Hit subscribe if you're not already. Turn on notification bell. It'll be a little bit of a break after this until the big board shows up. Once the big board shows up, I might stream some tape watching sessions if anyone wants to get into that. CeeDee Lamb goes first. I like that. That's what I do as well. Then McCaffrey, then Josh Allen. Wonderful. I might do that. Fire a comment in. Let me know. Tell me on Twitter, even whatever you want to do. I might do that for draft season. I will be starting my draft prep in the next little bit. Purdy over Jackson, and I don't like that at all. So this might get interesting, this room. But I'll be starting my draft prep pretty quick here. And I don't know if anyone wants to stream that, watch me talk about watching prospects, just see a little bit of my process. I don't know if that's interesting to people or not, but let me know if it is, and maybe we'll jump into that. But definitely we'll be streaming the shit out of the big board once that drops. So a lot of work between now and then for me. So I don't know if I'll be doing any streaming until the big board launches, and then I'll be all over that because I got to put in the work. You got to put in the work, Got to do what you got to do. Got to get an edge somehow. And if I feel like I have an edge, that is what I feel like my edge is. So there you go. Got to go Debo here, I guess, right? If you're going to go Ayuk, you kind of got to go Debo. And then this guy is going to have to take Kittle. So that's why why would you take Purdy there? That makes no sense. You take Purdy, you might not get another 49er. This is why the 49ers pull back for me. I talked about it the other day with James. The 49ers kind of pull back for me, especially in these 2 of 6, certainly in the 1 of 6. And then he should take Zay, but what if he takes Kittle on you? But we'll see. Maybe he takes Amon-Ra. There you go. There you go. It plays out exactly as I predicted. So now this guy's screwed. Why would you take Brock Purdy at the 4? It just makes no sense. That's the worst pick you could make, in my opinion. Terrible. Terrible. Now he's probably going to take Stephon Diggs on me, which kind of sucks, but it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, there you go. So now I'm going to take Amon-Ra, unless I'm scared of James Cook going, which I kind of am. So I'm going to take James Cook. It's too important. He's too important when I have Josh Allen here. I have to have James Cook, because then I can bring in Kincaid, I can bring in Dawson Knox, Shakir, the other pass catchers. I can bring in those guys pretty easily at the end of the draft. It's a little more unique when you don't have Stephon Diggs, so I don't mind that I got sniped on Diggs there. It'll be pretty easy to adjust. And it does open the door with these guys being, NFC teams. Wow, he scoops Dak on him. So this is where these drafts are getting a little interesting now. And he's going to have to go Chiefs, I think. Mahomes and, Pacheco is the pick here. Pacheco is the pick over the pass catchers. Takes Kelsey. I take the running back. We talked about it earlier. There goes Amon-Ra. That's who I would have picked. Then, now I'm going to have to go with Pollard. It's either Pollard or Kyron. Or I could go Gibbs, but I only would have done that if I got Amon-Ra. So I'm going to go Pollard. Start building out a Buffalo-Dallas Super Bowl. And I got James Cook and Pollard, to advance me. And I might be done. We'll see at running back. Definitely going to want to bring in Brandon Cook. Don't mind bringing in Puka. If Kyron gets to me, I don't know who's more important, Kyron or Brandon Cooks. I think Brandon Cooks would be more important. Yeah. I don't have a running or a wide receiver. Oh, he's gone anyways. Don't have to make that, but it would be Cooks. Cooks would be more important in this build so far. Gibbs is still there. I hope he gets pushed down, but not likely. There goes Puka. Not the end of the world. I guess Lamar, wow. You have to take Zay Flowers. That's good value there. That's nice. Let's look at that. Kyron Kittle. Nice. That's a nice looking build. JA Style 76, J Style, whatever the hell your name is. Well done. Looks good. We're going to go Brandon Cooks. So building out the Buffalo Dallas stack, obviously. We got Detroit. Rams. I will take Gibbs if he's still there. I will take Gibbs, because then I can bring it back with Jamison Williams. He's got, a little. This is terrible. This doesn't make sense. So we've got terrible build, really nice build. I mean, in my opinion, this is a nice build. This is a nice build. You got to do what you got to do. But this doesn't make sense. 4 different NFC teams. Just make it make sense to me, El Franco. How does that add up? Rashee Rice falls. That's fantastic. This is a nice build. And now he's probably just going to take Ferguson. That's what I would do. I mean, I guess you could take Gibbs. I mean, I could still take Montgomery even if Gibbs is gone, but I'd rather Gibbs right here at the 27. Okay. That's different. I don't mind that. That's a way to get unique. You're already thinking you're advancing as long as they score some points, right? As long as they win and score some points with the weather. Really, yeah. God, you don't make any sense, pal. I guess you're starting to bring out the Detroit, so that's what it is. Could go Philly, but I'm not going to with Josh Allen. I'm just going to take Kincaid here because I'd be way too unhappy with missing out on Stephon Diggs. I'd be really unhappy if I got sniped on Kincaid. So there's no point in trying to push them, especially with these being the NFC sides, right? Purdy, well, he's doing nonsense too. Building out Cleveland now, okay. Then why'd you take Diggs and Pacheco? But this is an NFC team. Yeah. So that's cool. So they could easily take Kincaid as a bring back piece. So now I'm trying to get David Montgomery or nope. No, yeah, David Montgomery. I'm okay with the 2 Dallas. Could bring in Ferguson. I don't mind that, but I'm gonna get a little different. I don't have a ton of Detroit. And I feel comfortable with advancing with Josh Allen. So I'm going to start bringing in Detroit. I've got a ton of Rams, and I got to even out some exposure here. Could go Swift as well, and then bring in Goddard. But I just am too scared that they lose that game. Mind you, I'm scared that the Detroit Lions lose that game too. But I just got to mix in some exposure here of Lions. So let's do that. Let's bring in Montgomery. And then I'll be looking at Jameson Williams later in the draft. Could take Dallas Goddard. Gabe Davis, I do not think plays this week, which pushes Shakir up. Who am I taking here? I would have taken Swift if he fell. That would have been nice. I could still take Goddard, but we'll see how this shakes out. Could go Mike Evans. Now that I'm not taking Philadelphia Eagles. And I can also bring in, no, I can't bring in Rachaad White. That's okay. So I think I'm going to go with Mike Evans here. Increases my advancing. Plus, I'm going to have minimum 4 Buffalo Bills. So if some outside chance the Bucs make the Super Bowl, there you go. But I'm happy to advance. And I think there's a very good chance that they win this game at home against a banged up, terrible defense Philadelphia Eagles. I have a ton of Mike Evans exposure, and I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with that. I won't be taking another quarterback. That's for sure. That's easy peasy. And then I'm hoping Gabe Davis goes late. This guy is definitely taking some Detroit. This just doesn't make any sense. I guess you're just hoping to get your money back. That's cool. When you get McCaffrey, especially the 2-hole, when you get McCaffrey, you just can't build like this. Just doesn't make any sense. And I'm going to try to I was going to say I'm going to try to push Khalil Shakir. Now I'm definitely going to push Gabe Davis. Anyways, I'm going to take Jameson Williams. That's for sure. Because this guy is kind of building out a little Detroit action here, even though it doesn't make sense. But you got to look at what these guys are doing and kind of just react. Fully practices on Wednesday. I like that. Hopefully he's nice and motivated. He was playing well there, before he got hurt. I do not have to pick Dawson Knox, but I might. 2 more picks. It could be Gabe Davis and Dawson Knox. Yeah, with me taking Tampa Bay, I'm going to pull Goddard off my list. Won't be taking another running back, that's for sure. Obviously won't be taking another quarterback. Not taking Laporta because he might not play at all. Don't need to double stack the Bucs. I think in this case, in this lineup, you got to take Knox. It is somewhat unique without having Diggs, but it's not quite from the early drafts because Gabe Davis and Knox were getting picked over Shakir, but I do have a lot of Shakir exposure. So yeah, we're hoping Buffalo, Dallas, Buffalo, Detroit. Dallas and Detroit would probably play each other in the second round, but that's okay. I don't think Gabe Davis plays this week, but I don't need him. With this lineup, I don't need him to advance. Every single one of my players are playing in the wild card round. This team is almost a lock to advance. Unless there's some crazy outlier advancement piece that you have to have, like Jaden Reed throws up, 40 points or something like that, and you just have to have Jaden Reed, then, it is what it is. But I like this to be a 2 of 6 team to advance out of this pod. And I hope I'm unique with Bills. I got the running back. Again, that's the most important piece, I think. And then Kincaid, Gabe Davis, should be able to get Dawson Knox here. Touch of uniqueness, misses practice with illness. I'm sure he'll be playing. I'm not too worried about that. And there you go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 piece on the AFC side with the Buffalo Bills. Detroit brings it back. Dallas brings it back. And even a one-off Mike Evans if for some reason the Bucs make the Super Bowl. Even if I get 2 games out of Mike Evans, I'm more than happy, especially if he's the advancement piece that you need, that I'm kind of thinking and honestly kind of hoping, because of how much exposure I have to him, I'm hoping he is that piece, and he 100 yards, 2 touchdowns kind of a day. So that's my little gauntlet. Fully done, 15 entries. I'm maxed out there. That's fun. We'll do one more. I'll do one more draft, and then we'll get out of here. Call it a night. One more quick. In case anyone's interested, I'm doing these season-long PGA drafts as well. I'm going to max enter this little scramble little guy. It should be fun. I love golf. I'm a big golfer myself, and DraftKings, I do a lot of golf stuff. So little gauntlet's full. That'll be done in the next half hour, maybe, not even. But let's jump in another little mitten 4, sorry. Filled, last one of the night. You got to hit that like button for me. Hopefully you like the content. Nothing but drafts tonight. I just wanted to jump in, spin a bunch of drafts, get some exposures, finish out my little gauntlet, blah, 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 get that going. And then I'll be pretty close to being done by now. All the ADPs are probably where they're going to be, unless some news comes out, maybe tomorrow, maybe AJ Brown, Devontae Smith doesn't play, things like that. But realistically, everything's pretty settled. And I'm not really picking those guys anyways, because I have a hard time. And it's the playoffs, so they're not going to give away any information until the very last second. Teams aren't going to rule players out. And like Laporta's not even ruled out yet, right? So it's the teams aren't going to rule players out until the last second, the Sunday when they have to. Literally, that's what we're going to see all throughout the playoffs with these injured players. So you kind of just got to think on your feet. And do you think they're going to play? Do you actually think that AJ Brown's going to play? Do you actually think that Devontae Smith's going to play? Sam Laporta, Gabe Davis. Do you think they're going to play? And if you do, I guess you can, Jalen Waddle is another one. And you kind of take it from there. All right, McCaffrey, Lamb. I'm going to go again with Lamar, 3 of 6 advancing. I'm going to try to build something out here. I've got a lot of Buffalo Bills exposure in all contests. So I'm going to try to get through a first round bye team again in this 3 of 6 format, and kind of just hope for the best. So I might try to push Zay Flowers. Maybe I'll try that. Get a little different. If Kittle's there, obviously if Ayuk or Samuel, but they won't be. So there's the rare where you get that, especially if you're in the 6 hole when someone takes Amon-Ra or Tyreek Hill. That's a really nice situation, because then you're getting, I think that's just where it's settled at anyways, is you kind of have to go that route with the 49ers. Wow, I can get Ayuk. I like that. I'm definitely going to go that route. That's easy. That is easy peasy for me. Amon-Ra and Dak. Okay. Easy to pick Ayuk. Hopefully Zay or Kittle make it back to me. If Kittle somehow gets back to me and I have Ayuk with Kittle and Lamar, that's going to be, I feel like that's pretty unique for a Baltimore 49ers Super Bowl. but we'll see. There goes Zay Flowers, I guess. Okay. Kind of figured that would happen, but I really don't feel like I can pass up Ayuk there. Even getting Lamar and Ayuk is pretty unique. If I can get Kittle, which I highly, highly, highly doubt this guy doesn't take Kittle with one of these two picks. He could go San Francisco, or sorry, he could go Chiefs, but there you go. It is what it is. So now I have to go NFC again. Kind of what I did earlier with a couple of those earlier examples. It's pretty easy to be Tony Pollard here. Hopefully he's rolling now. Supposedly he's fully healthy. You know, Green Bay's got a pretty weak run defense. It's got to be Tony Pollard. And then I'm just going to start trying to build out Baltimore, Dallas. I'm going to bring in Elijah Mitchell, hopefully. Let's put everybody I need in the queue. Likely. And then I can bring in Odell, Cooks. Let's go in order here, so we're not savages. Cooks, Ferguson. If Gus Bus is still there, okay. I'm going to need another quarterback. That's okay. I know that. That's fine. I might build this out where I just have a naked whatever quarterback. I might go that route, considering I'm going Dallas and San Francisco fairly heavy. You could take Cooks. I think Cooks is more important than Gus Edwards when I can take Justice Hill. Especially because I have Ayuk. Yeah, let's go that route. I'm going to go Cooks. I think he's more important than Gus in this build. I'm more than comfortable. Yeah, there goes Gus. That's fine. Have to take Likely, obviously. This guy could go with Likely, but that's really pushing it. That would be really, really pushing it for him. Especially when he's got Mahomes, because he's going to have to bring back Chiefs pass catchers. So this guy, I guess, could go Likely. He should go Cup now. Well, this just doesn't make sense. Take some Dolphins. Why would you take Puka? I don't like that. Too many mistakes happen in these drafts. Like, Likely would be a better pick, I guess, but it wouldn't be. You got to take Mostert or Achane, if you ask me. And then you just take Cooper. Okay, that's silly. If you take this guy takes Likely, okay, there we go. That would be a mistake, if you ask me. So we got away with that. And we're going to go Likely, of course. Like I said earlier, arguably more important than Zay Flowers is Isaiah Likely to your Baltimore stack. All right. I do have to think about advancement pieces, but not quite yet, especially if I don't need Ferguson anymore, and I kind of can't take Ferguson anymore unless I'm just thinking that Cooks, Pollard, and Ferguson all get a touchdown in the wildcard round, which could happen, but I highly doubt it. So that's not going to happen. So now I got to think about advancement pieces. I could go with Montgomery. I could go with Swift, even though those two teams are likely to play the Cowboys unless so that's going to actually push me to the Eagles because they would be more likely to play San Francisco, but I have San Francisco and I'm going to have. So regardless, I'm kind of just I'm stuck with that. It's either, so it doesn't really matter. I can take Swift or Montgomery. In this, I'm going to take Swift though, because I can get Goddard, who I want more in the wild card round than Jameson Williams, if that makes sense. So Swift and Goddard are more important in the wild card round to me than Montgomery and Jameson Williams. That's how I'm looking at this. So that's what I'm going to do. DeAndre Swift. And then I think I take I think I got to take Justice Hill here. Unless I go Goddard. I feel like I have to take Goddard. Unless, because this guy would take him. And he shouldn't take Justice Hill, but I guess he could. He just shouldn't. So I'm just hoping that I'm hoping he doesn't. He shouldn't, and I'm hoping he doesn't. This guy could take Justice Hill. I'm going to risk it for the biscuit because I guess I could still take Dalvin Cook, which is pretty yuck, but it would be unique, I suppose. Let's go with Dallas Goedert now and then hope Justice Hill falls to me because he should. He should, but doesn't mean he will. Doesn't mean he will. Montgomery's still there. These guys are taking quarterbacks. I like to see that. They're scooping this Brock Purdy guy. I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm probably just going to take a naked, I don't care, CJ Stroud, my first CJ Stroud share, a naked Jordan Love. I really don't care who I get at quarterback with the way I'm building right now. I'm going to have, 2 Dallas Cowboys, 2 Eagles, 2 49ers, and the rest are going to be Ravens. As long as that should work, right? How many picks do I have left? 3. Maybe it won't work. Yikes. Oh, man. Yeah, I can only get... I got to take Justice Hill, and then that pulls Elijah Mitchell away. Then I don't take Elijah Mitchell. And I just have Ayuk. But not the end of the world. Because I'm going to need another advancement piece. I just don't think Cooks and Goddard can get me there. And I'm taking Odell, if that didn't make sense to you. As long as he's there for me. So Justice Hill. I have 3 more picks. I'm going to go Justice Hill on a bye and Odell Beckham on a bye. Cooks, Goddard, and then 1 more. To get me through the wildcard round. That's the plan. All right. So I'm going to try to take an NFC player. Has to be a pass catcher. Could take Jameson Williams still, if he's there. Could not. I guess I could take Godwin. And I take that because I'm hoping that, or no, what am I doing here? I got to take a quarterback. Jeez, Cody, pull your head out of your ass. I could just take naked Jordan Love then. I kind of have to now. That's cool. So naked Jordan Love. And I'm hoping that game kind of goes off with these 2 Dallas players. And then I don't care that I lose Jordan Love when I have Lamar Jackson coming in. Again, the way I'm building this, I don't really care if I lose my second quarterback when I have my bye week quarterback. That's how I'm building. But do I think that Goddard and Cooks are enough to get me through? When I've got the running backs with them. I don't particularly. Man. Do I want to just go Jordan Love and Jaden Reed and hope that that gets me through, and then I lose the two? I can't lose. Can I lose two? I don't know. I could take Khalil Shakir. Nothing wrong with that. I could take Khalil Shakir. And that's probably what I do. Has to be a pass catcher. Now when I'm losing Jordan Love and I'm planning for it, I don't want to lose someone in the first round like a Chris Godwin, where I have my Philadelphia Eagles. I don't want to just punt another player. So it'll be Khalil Shakir here. Hopefully Gabe Davis doesn't play in this scenario. And Khalil Shakir has a game like he had last week. And that enables this team to get through. And then I've got my Baltimore 1, 2, 3, Philly, Dallas brings it 5, and then Ayuk. If that did happen, there was 2 number 1 seeds in the Super Bowl, and this team made it there, I would feel pretty comfortable with only that 4-piece, to be honest, with 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that would be unique enough with getting Ayuk with Lamar, Nose Flowers. I think that would be unique enough if a full, two first overall seeds made it to the Super Bowl like it did last year. I think I'm in good shape, and Khalil Shakir's there. That's what I'm doing. Fingers crossed on that one. This is an interesting one. It's pretty precarious. I'm walking a line with both running back and pass catcher from the same team that I need to push me through the wild card round. But there we go. That was fun. That was good. Bunch of drafts. Hour 12. Nice. Wow, that went quickly. Time flies when you're having fun, when you're drafting. So there you go. That'll be the last episode for just doing playoff best ball drafts. Obviously, it'll be a little bit of a break until the big board comes. I got to do my draft prep. I got to grind film, watch tape, all that kind of stuff, and figure out who's who are the prospects that I like. I'll probably put out some episodes, and I'll probably live stream those episodes where I rank them, things like that, and we talk about some of the prospects. I don't think I'll do anything where I'm watching film and then streaming myself watch film. I just think that's a little weird when people do that. And, I'm not I don't like to talk too much. So I don't think it would be super entertaining, but what I'll do is I'll put together lists and things like that and rankings, and we'll talk about some prospects and stuff like that before the big board opens. And then obviously after and while we're doing, drafting of the big board. So there you go. That's the plan. Good luck to everybody this weekend. Good luck to your teams. If your team is in the playoffs, mine is not, unfortunately. 1 year off. We'll be back next year. But good luck to you. Good luck to your teams. Good luck in the best ball streets. We'll see you on the next episode when we put it out. Keep your eyes on Twitter. Hit that link, subscribe, and notification bell so you know when I'm going live. Like I always say, if you're afraid to be wrong, you'll never be right. Hopefully tonight I was right. We shipped some best ball bucks our way. But we'll see you on the next episode. Have a good night, guys. Take care.